Hello and welcome back. It is Monday and holy shit, November's flying by. How are you, Sarah?
So good. I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm pumped. I'm really excited. So some amazing things have been going on over on our side of the little world that we live in, and we've got some big changes coming up. But more specifically, we are talking about something that everybody wants to know about, and that is money.
Yeah.
And we're going to be going a new direction. Sarah is actually going. She has been studying money for the last 2 years, but she is also being certified now as a, what is it, Sarah?
Sacred money archetypes coach. So I'm
Yes.
actually going to be a money coach.
Yeah. So it's absolutely amazing. Um I still love mindset of money. And actually Sarah and I were just talking about how our money mindset's changed. I know mine's drastically changed over the past few years. But I mean, we want to bring that all to you because now more than ever we've realized that there's so many things people could be doing that are simple tweaks in their mindset and in the way that they're currently doing things that can transform their entire life.
Yep. So it all starts with that belief, right? Because if you constantly are saying, I just want to be comfortable, right? Like that's a lack mentality. What does comfortability look like to you? Is it just having your bills paid and nothing else where you're sitting at the plus level, but there's not much happening going on? Or is it having generational wealth that you can pass down? There's different levels of comfortability, right? So what does comfortability look like to you? Because if you're living right now in a state where you're in debt, you can't get ahead, you're working 2 or 3 jobs, you're spending more to go to work than you're actually making at work, your comfortability is going to look different from somebody who wants to create wealth, right? So we're going to be talking about that too. We're going to show you different types of strategies that you can use. We're going to show you the mindset between the middle class and the rich and how they utilize money. I've been studying about credit card interest rates, and we're going to be learning a lot about that, mortgages, and talking about why if you have biweekly payments to the mortgage, why are you paying the bank twice a month? Right. So these are the mindset and these are the strategies that we're going to be providing for you. But you have to have that belief first. It has to be, what does your life look like if you hit that goal? It's coming from that end result. If you were to make millions of dollars a year, that's a different way of thinking. That's a different mindset mentality. So you have to prepare yourself for that jump, right? You just look at some celebrities, right? They go from nothing to millions, and then they hit depression because of everything that happens in between, the celebrity status that happens in between, the paparazzi, the friends hitting you up, the friends leaving you. You have to be in that mindset.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's huge. And something that I always come back to that, just from looking at somebody's life, you may not even realize, like the celebrities that you do see. Like just seen on Instagram the other day, Steve Harvey, right? You know him from Family Feud. You know him. He has his own talk show. But there is a reel of him. I think he was on Family Feud, and he said, the first thing you need to do if you want to be successful is get out a piece of paper, get out your pen, and write down what you want.
Yep.
It's that
So
simple.
key. That is so key. So I know we mentioned it on Thursday, but we're having a vision board party this Saturday morning coming up. Join us for that. Check us out on Facebook. We are the Money Make Hers. That is the Facebook group that we are using. And it's just a group of 4 of us, 4 women's who are learning how to earn money. But the vision board is the first step, right? It's not just a piece of paper that you shove images on. There's an actual science behind that. And when you start to understand that, when you start to get off this fucking autopilot that you're living on every single day, and you start to learn, leaders learn. Leaders are readers. Leaders are learners. Okay? It's not that we're just oh, la-di-da through a course and we buy courses. There's reasons why they work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And and back to Steve Harvey, he said everything I have now, I once wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how easy it is. But he says if you don't do that, you will never have what you want. It's that simple. And that's exactly what we want to show you here. Just like we've shown you so much the past year of this podcast, we wanted to give you that next level. And with that and brainstorming and seeing really what most of the people we chat with and a lot of what is looked at online being money and wanting to know more about it, how to use it, how to make more of it, how to have first off that good relationship with money, we want to bring that all to you. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. But what I love is that you can start exactly where you are today, no matter if it's a good situation, if it's you're at the bottom of the barrel and you've never been lower and you're just like, I need out of here. You can start exactly where you are right now and implement what we're going to teach you and change your life with just starting to implement from literally listening to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So,
start.
yeah, and that's it, right? Start where you're at. So you hear a lot of people say, live below your means and save and get in a bank and invest in all these things, right? Do you really want to live below your means? And it's not about living below your means. It's about what are you willing to sacrifice right now for long-term gains, right? If you were to release Netflix, right? So Netflix is what? $17 a month or something. If you were to release that Netflix and take that $17 and put that $17 into the Netflix stock, you will increase your income. You will increase your net worth, right? That's the mindset. If you were to take your $10 Starbucks coffee and put it into the Starbucks stock instead, you're now increasing your portfolio. So these are the things that you need to start thinking about, right? Yes, we all want to have $1 million cars and stuff like that. There's a book. It's called, I think it's like the Millionaire Next Door, and I'm reading this book. I'm learning how to borrow other people's money to increase my portfolio, which the bank does. So think about it this way. I saw a meme yesterday. It was a reel actually, where the man was saying, talking to the bank, this new reel is where like the same person, but you pretend to be somebody else. And he's talking about, he's like, so let me get this straight. If I have $1 million in the bank and something happens, I'm only covered for 25%. And the bank's like, yes, that's right. Okay. And if I have $1 million in the bank and I want to come in and take out that $1 million, it's not going to be there, right? The bank's like, yes, that's correct. Because what happens is when you put the money in the bank uses your money to lend out money. So every dollar you put in the bank is using 10 cents to lend out to other people. So they are lending out your dollar 10 times. Right? So if you put all of your money in, if you put $1 million in, you're only insured to $100,000. Jeff Bezos' salary is $80,000. He's worth 1.93 billion. Why? Because rich people don't pay income tax. Income tax, right? The middle class, they have a job that pays a salary that you get taxed on. Income tax, because it's an income. Rich people have rental incomes, dividends, interest, royalties. Do you know that you don't pay interest on borrowed money? I know. Sounds weird. No, you don't pay taxes. Sorry, you don't pay taxes on borrowed money. So we're going to be teaching you that too. We're going to open up your mind to all the capabilities. So stay tuned here. And just note, for legal reasons, this is just an educational program. We are not certified money experts. We're not CPAs. So you always want to make sure that you are checking with, a certified CPA, bookkeeper, accountant, professional.
Yeah.
So we are just teaching you life experiences.
Pretty much. Life experiences and learnings as we go along. So, it's pretty cool though, right? Like just listening to that little bit you said, Sarah, it's like things you would never think of unless you're told or taught, right? Like we didn't know this until we started learning about it, and that's why we want to bring this to you. But yeah, it's so exciting. Money is a hot topic. People are scared of money.
Mhm.
People are um
They don't
people
like
let
it.
yeah,
They think
people
it's
let
evil. They think the rich are scammers,
and
right?
people let money control them when we are in control
Yeah,
and we control the money.
that's it, right? Everything you can't say you hate money because every single thing that you do in life is revolved around money. You want to have a baby? It costs money. You want to go on vacation? It costs money. You want to start a job? It costs you money to get to that job. You want to eat? It costs you money. Everything
One,
you do in life costs money. Money is right up there next to oxygen.
yeah, it's true, right? And the thing is, we don't think about those things on an everyday basis. We just go with what we were born to know, right? We and a lot of us, the beliefs that we do have around money aren't even our beliefs. Like I changed my entire belief system on money these past 2 years. I was brought up with work your ass off, save every penny that you can for a rainy day. Well, what if
Mhm.
it's never going to rain over here? What am I saving that for, right? So my I was actually like taught into a money paradigm of there's not enough money in the world. I need to hoard it. If
There's
something
so much
happens,
money.
I need it, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I used to live. So I wouldn't treat myself to something, or I wouldn't buy this, or I'd say I can't. But now, completely different story. When I spend money, I thank it.
Yep.
When I do anything, I thank it. When I have an income and when I give money, I'm excited. I'm literally excited to give people money
Yeah.
because I know without a shadow of a doubt it's coming right back to me. Like there's an abundance.
And that's the thing we're gonna talk about, right? So we're actually gonna uncover the money code. So this is gonna be a private reading. So you do have to reach out for us if you want this reading. But everybody spends, saves, and thinks about money in a different way. So not everybody's gonna be the same, right? Like there's some people have like this inner banker where they're like they have to put money in the bank and then they have to move it around for like stocks and bonds, right? Then there's like the risk taker. So I'm a risk taker. I'm a ruler, what's called a ruler. And I make my money work for me. I don't keep money in the bank because money in the bank is unemployed. I need to employ my money. So I buy assets, right? So we're going to talk about the difference between liabilities and assets, right? A car is a liability, you know? A student loan is a liability. Credit cards are a liability. However, I'm going to show you how you can utilize credit cards to your advantage. We're going to talk about how to utilize debt. I know, so scary. Oh my God, what do you mean you can use debt to get rich? How do you think the rich get rich? They borrow because you don't pay taxes on borrowed money, right?
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
there's a chart that my friend sent me today because we're actually going to have her on as a guest. She's a financial planner and she's teaching children young adults how to earn income, right? Because it's something that's not taught and you learn your money habits from your parents. So if you have no money, you're giving your kids broke advice every time you spend money or do something, right? Right now in the middle of the pandemic, if you're retracting and retreating and you're couponing and you're hoarding food and you're hoarding toilet paper and maybe you're losing your job or maybe now you're working 3 jobs, you're teaching your kids this. Subconsciously, your kids are picking all of this up. So now is the perfect time to be able to learn about money and to what money can do because you like Kaylee said, there is no shortage of money on the planet. There's no shortage of money on the planet. Okay.
There is
There's
no
just,
shortage.
yeah. There's just how do you make it work for you? And your money needs to be employed.
Absolutely. And you have to have the belief in seeing yourself with money and not having a shortage of it, right? So it's internal too, and it starts there. It
Mhm.
starts with the deep roots and beliefs that you have.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention we are going to be doing a weekly webinar that you guys can also attend. The first one is going to be the
November
17th.
17th. Yeah.
November 17th. So next Wednesday.
Yep.
Holy shit, it's already the 17th next Wednesday.
In like 70 days or something.
Oh my god. Yeah, so it's gonna be amazing.
Not even.
A lot to learn on that webinar, and we have a special offer too, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be
And
amazing.
you can find that event on our website at moneymakehers, HERS.ca.
Mhm. Oh, we have a website.
We have a website now. We are leveling up.
So amazing.
We're
And
bringing
that's
you guys all the values.
yeah, we're giving you everything that we've learned because that's what we love about all of the mentors and people we look up to is that all of the knowledge that they have, they share. So
And
everything that we have, we want to share.
and I want to leave this with you. Look at all the greats. You know, Oprah at age 20, she had $0. 24, she had $0 in her account, right? She was lost a pregnancy when she was 14. She was sexually abused by her family. She was told she would never make it in the industry. And now look at her. She's worth billions of dollars. Tony Robbins, right? Had no money. Eli Wild had no money. Like all of these greats had no. Steve Harvey was homeless living in his car, right? So all of these people had no money. So you are right now, if you're listening to this, you are in a better position than they were in. Okay. Like even Oprah talked about her thoughts of suicide, right? Steve Harvey, who's the other one? The Colonel Sanders, right? They all talked about, what's the point? Me, I've been there. I've shared my story. You guys know that. I always said, what's the point? Like, what's the point of being here if we're just suffering for a paycheck, right? But let me tell you, you're not put here to suffer through that paycheck. So you are actually better off. And if you have $1 to invest, that's $1 more that most people don't have to invest. So just know that you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to get rich. And so the mindset is, this is the mindset of the middle class. Get a job so that you can buy all these rental incomes and stocks and bonds and interests, right? Get a job so you can do this. Get a job so you can pay off this. Get a job so you can increase this. But we're going to change that. We're going to change that belief system. So make sure you join us on November 17th, where we're going to show you how to crack that money code. It's going to be all around the belief of money.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like mind blown at what's about to happen here. Mm-hmm. We are going to blow this world up with literally cracking your money code. And you need to come to the webinar because it's going to be outstanding. But it's true. Like, thinking back now, and I'm just kind of reflecting now as you just said that, Sarah, but thinking back now from the transition I made from working full-time at a government job to taking the leap and doing what I'm doing now, I honestly didn't see the possibility in how successful I could be. That's why I never thought about doing it. That's why I got up every single day and went to the job that I used to love, and then it started getting boring and I didn't want to go, right? That's why I stayed there, because I seen the paycheck come every 2 weeks. But that was my mindset.
But
And
did you ever sit down and write out, yes, you got this paycheck, but how much was the gas to get there? How much was the insurance to get there? How much did it cost you for food if you were eating out and for coffee? Right? I was talking to somebody today who's working 3 part-time jobs, and they told me everything that they're paying, and they're like, maybe I should just go all in with my online business. You should. If you're listening right now, you absolutely should, because it's costing you more money to go to work. Now with the price of gas, I saw another TikTok where the guy's like, I paid $100 for gas for 2 days, and he only brings in a certain amount. So sometimes it's costing you more to go to work. I'm following a doctor right now on TikTok, and he's talking about how he was working so many hours, and his salary, his first year salary as like an actual doctor when you're at the top was like $327,000, right? But he works like 60 hours a day. Like it's crazy. No sleep, no routine, young guy. And it would take him forever to pay off his $300,000 university bills, right? That's not even enough, because now you got to pay for the cost of living. So he actually created passive income. He invested because passive income is where you get your wealth.
It's amazing that people think we're put here to literally work so hard to get money to live, but nobody's living because they're literally living to work.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that often people put their savings in the same bank they borrow money from? Right? So you put your savings in the same bank that you borrow money for your mortgage, for your loan. So in that effect, you're borrowing your own money.
Money.
You're borrowing your own money and you're paying interest on it.
Holy,
Look at Kaylee's face. Look at her face. So you're putting money in the same bank that you borrow from for loans and mortgages. So essentially, you're borrowing your own money and paying interest on it. Okay. So let's say you have a savings in the bank at 3% interest. It takes you 48 years to double your money. 48 years. Okay. Because the bank will borrow your money, remortgage it, and after 48 years, you'll make 160K. But if somebody has a credit card at 12%, it's much higher, but they're more generous than banks. At the end of 48 years, you'll make over $2.5 million. This is what we're going to show you.
insane.
So if you're interested in this, first we have to crack your money code because you actually have a unique code. And we want to show you that. So make sure that you jump on our webinar next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, be about 90 minutes. So book off 90 minutes in your calendar. We'll answer some questions. And at the end of that, we're going to offer you your unique money code personal reading. So you'll get to book a call with us.
It's going to be amazing. I'm pumped. I am pumped. If you're not pumped, you should be because this is honestly life-changing, and this is how Sarah and I have both went from, wanting more to now having everything that we have. So,
I follow a lot of people now that I'm studying money, and Donnie and I were trying to figure out again why we were so successful. And one is because we took a risk. But then I'm looking at these young kids. Who are and I say kids because they're 20, right? And that when I was 20, I was not thinking about my future. But I'm looking at them, they're borrowing money and they're buying duplexes and they're living in half of it and they're paying $50 they own the house and their mortgage is $50 because the people on the other side are paying. Are you willing to do that? Because there's so many people out there right now who go for the big kill shot. They buy these houses that look great and they think they makes them feel great, right? And it might, and you might be able to afford it, which is awesome. That's so amazing. But if you can't and you're literally working to pay that mortgage, what if you were to just downgrade for 5 years? Because 5 years goes by fast and you buy a triplex and you live in that triplex and you rent out the other 2. Now, in 3 years, you pull out that equity that you got, you take that equity and you buy your dream house. And now you're still sitting and the person that's now going to rent the unit you were living in is actually going to be paying the mortgage for your new house.
mm-hmm.
I can talk about this for hours.
And you know what? It's just that, Sarah. It's that anybody right now, no matter where you are, can say, I can't do this. My life sucks, da, 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 da. But there's an option and there's a way for you to be successful all the time. There's always options out there. Sarah just gave you probably 10 in this entire podcast of ways you can start implementing things right now and make money. Literally just implement them. So tune in to all of our podcasts as we're going to be revamping. You're going to see new branding coming from us. As you may notice, if you're watching on YouTube right now, we have a little new logo in the corner. But everything's coming and we're super excited. Once again, if you want to join us for the vision board party, that's this Saturday, November 13th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So bring your kids, bring your husband, bring your spouse, whoever. hop on with us and let's create your vision for 2022. And then hop on over to the webinar. And if you are serious about both of them, I'll drop the link underneath the podcast and YouTube here, and you can register.
I
But
love it.
super exciting. I'm excited to see you all there. And once again, if you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want us to touch on or chat about, send us an email at info@asodproteam.com. And we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Bye.
See